So, Skinny, come on up. Dietrich, come on up and.
I did want to take just a few minutes and talk while I've got a little extra time. We talk about the Southern Prepper and Engineer 775. I don't know exactly where they live. I know about where they live. I live in Pickens County too, so I'm not going to give away their address in case they get mad at me. They're probably better shots than I am. But they have a lot of land, okay? I have an acre, and I'm doing enough for my family. I have a 20 by 20 garden that gives us zucchini out the ears. I have overflowing zucchini. My wife did plum preserves last year, so we have jelly and preserves overflowing our shelves. I have chickens. I have a little small chicken coop. They give me eggs. And so I do the garden, do the eggs. My wife coupons like crazy. So we have extra and bulk stuff. Now, I don't have nearly what everyone else has, but still on my small piece of property, I'm doing this. So, Such and I started shooting. I love shooting. Deer hunt, turkey hunt. However, you can ask my dad's back there. I'm an excellent cow caller. I found out that last night. We have 300 acres, nothing but pasture land, and I called two herds of cattle within 30 feet. It was awesome. I didn't do much turkey calling, but I did do that. So, I have deer meat in my freezer, so my wife doesn't have to go buy ground beef. It's already there. So, small stuff. Started shooting. Started collecting guns. Don knows my wife. My wife shoots. She knows that it's an investment, so we invest. I learned to shoot. I'm getting better. Don's actually been practicing. I can hit a man-sized target with a Glock, with my Glock 40 at 100 yards. It's not bad. He's my witness. So he's wanted to show me how to do it. So at 100 yards, under calm situations, I can hit a man-sized target. Now, if my heart rate's like 120, I'm probably like all over there. So, but practicing, getting better. We're going to be giving my next lecture. I'm not going to bore you with this stuff again. You've already seen all this. Did we turn it off? I don't know what voice says. This is awkward. It's not working. If you just want to go to the next slide. Alright, we're going to be talking about CPR. I thought and I wrapped my mind around multiple things trying to do a medical lecture that would fit to you guys, work to you guys, cater to you guys. I was like, crap, what do I come up with? Do I do anaphylaxis? Do bee stings? Do I do chest pains? Do I do stroke? What in the world do I do? I was like, alright, I'm going to do CPR. Let's just get it over with. I am very, very passionate about doing CPR, okay? One of my slides next is going to talk about doing 50% of out-of-the-hospital patients receive cardiac arrest. 50%. So it means if we all go into cardiac arrest, half of you are getting CPR, the other half of you just lay there. It takes about 10 minutes for you to die once you stop breathing, once your heart stops. It takes about 10 minutes. Greenwood County will be here in an average of 12 and a half minutes. So good luck with that. So, CPR, as we are, out hiking, we're getting our stuff together. We are all like-minded. We like being friends, and we're all good people. So, we're out to help people. And this is the reason why I'm going to bring the CPR out here. They've made it simplified, okay? It's firefighter proof for all the firefighters in here. You can shoot me later. But they're making it simple, okay? Anyone can do it now. So this is not a CPR class. Please go to AmericanHeartAssociation.org or go to your local American Red Cross or go to your local EMS agency and get registered for a CPR class. Okay, this is just to give you the basics idea. This is not a CPR class. CPR class takes 4 hours. And if I sit for 4 hours, y'all would be all asleep. So this is CPR. This is what you know, it's kind of hard to see, but they're doing CPR on a mannequin. The head's like over there, and the body's here, so you really don't need to do CPR. Alright, next slide, please. They've kind of changed things up. American Heart Association, I have a friend who works there, works out in Dallas. He travels across the world teaching CPR. But they've kind of changed it up. For those who've had CPR for years and years and years, it was ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation. Now they've changed it up. Okay? Now it's CAB. I'm a little OCD, so that messes with me, okay? I'm just telling you. I'm just not going to the fact that I am OCD, so I'm slightly OCD. So now they've changed it up. It's compressions, airway, and breathing. Next slide. 50% of cardiac arrest patients do not receive CPR, okay, guys? That is very, very sad. Like I said, you are completely dead within 10 minutes if you're going into cardiac arrest. The average national response time for EMS is 10.5 minutes. That's nationwide. So they're about 30 seconds late for you. Even if they get there in 7 to 8 minutes, your quality of life is how much? You're laying there on a vent, your family's having to take care of you, you're in an ICU, CCU, then you go to a nursing home for the rest of your life on a ventilator. How good is your quality of life? Probably not much. I'll just soon go on. I am a born-again Christian, and for those of you that thought I was 14, see, I'm a deacon here, so that tells you about this church. Your survivability decreases by 10% for every minute that you're in cardiac arrest. So if you hit the floor now, if I can get to you within a minute, you have a 90 percentile survivability. Okay? I'm pretty quick. I'm just kidding. So, if it takes me 6 minutes to get to you, you have less than a 50% survivability rate of cardiac arrest. That is sad, guys. In 8 years of EMS, I have worked 7 pediatric cardiac arrests. That's a whole other ballgame. We're not talking about adults that say, oh, we've lived a good life. They've got a good 80 years out of their life. We're talking about little kids. We're talking like 6 months old, 2 weeks old. Sorry, I can't think about them. My last 3 pediatric arrests were saves. Why? Because the parents were doing CPR when I got there. Okay? So, I had my last one, was a kid who had a brain shunt. His shunt got clogged. Mom knew CPR. She started CPR, and that kid's walking around today. So, CPR saves lives, guys. Next slide, please. The first thing is to recognize that we have a need, okay? I work for a 911 service. I have for 8 years. I get called last week. Okay. I got called for hiccups. Okay? That was my 911 call for hiccups. Okay? So people call 911. They know the number. It's very valuable. So they call. So the recognition that we do need an emergency ambulance out there. Okay? Now we're teaching to the laypersons, people who have no healthcare experience at all, that if you see someone unresponsive, so, hey, you okay? And they don't move, you start CPR on them. Start doing chest compressions. They say that you will do less damage by doing that than if you just don't do anything at all. So recognize, hey, you okay? Oh man, he's not waking up. We probably need to get an ambulance up here. That's where we're at. If we go back to my last lecture, if they look sick, they probably are sick. So if you walk up, guy looks sick, he probably is sick. We probably need to call an ambulance. We live in an area, thank gosh, that has emergency 911. You dial 911, hit your cell phone tower, bam, they know exactly where you're at right now. So we're lucky in that area. It's not all parts of the country, it's not like that. So we are very blessed. Next slide, please. AEDs are becoming more affordable. They're at the local mall. They're at the local baseball fields. They're more and more affordable. When they first came out, anything like computers, they were really expensive. But now they're more affordable, and they're everywhere. So, activate 911. Everybody has a cell phone now. You don't have to go anywhere now. You just pick your cell phone up, call 911. And get an AED, okay? That is very, very important. There are some times your heart is not actually just sitting there quivering. And the only thing that can stop it from sitting there quivering is electricity. So we can't get our wood-burning truck out there and hook it up to it. It doesn't work. We need an AED. So get an AED. Next slide, please. Begin chest compressions. Okay, I got a little picture here. Basically, it's mid-nipple line, except if you're 80 years old. Okay. So generally, it's mid-nipple line. If you're 80 years old, do not do the compressions on the knees. Okay. So somewhere in this general area. Before, you had to find the rib cage, find your way up, and all that good stuff. I'm telling you, they made it a lot more simple now. It's mid-nipple line. So, do start your chest compressions. Next slide, please. You do it at 100 times a minute. Okay, I know this is going to sound really, really bad. These 2 songs are before my time. But if you will sing Staying Alive or Another One Bites the Dust, That is 100 beats a minute. Please do not sing it out loud. Sing it to your head. All I know is the chorus, so I just keep repeating Staying Alive, or another one bites the dust. Just keep repeating it over and over again. That's about 100 times a minute. Push about 2 inches. Now, one of the things that I will tell you that they don't tell you in your CPR class is, when I was talking to someone I don't sing, but we were talking about CPR, as you get older, your ribcage is going to get harder. Calcified, stuff like that. If I push on your chest 2 inches, what's going to happen? Crack. That first compression is a doozy. But after that, it's easy. But yeah, you're going to break ribs, okay? It just happens. If you don't push down hard enough, you're not breaking ribs, you're not pushing down far enough. So, CPR, good compressions. Minimize interruption with CPR. It takes a long time, about 1.5 minutes, to build up the blood pressure while doing compressions enough to perfuse your noggin. So if you're doing good compressions for about 1.5 minutes, I stop. Your blood pressure goes, boom, crashes down. It takes another 1.5 minutes to bring it back up. So, chest compressions is key. And then avoid excess ventilations. When I first got in the EMS, we were like bagging snot. And what we were doing, we were killing patients. We didn't realize it, but we were actually killing patients. I can give you 2 reasons. One, real quick, I'll bore you with it. But one is we overfill the lungs. Okay, enough. I'm assuming basic A&P here, but you have your lungs here, your heart sits about right here. But if you overinflate the lungs, what does the heart do? It squeezes together, it has no room to grow. So the blood can't come in and out of the heart. So if we keep the lungs a little bit smaller, it gives us plenty of room. Also, there's a little baroreceptor here that controls your brain. The baroreceptor says, oh man, we have plenty of oxygen, let's start shutting down. And then it stops blood and oxygen going to your brain. So we're getting patients back, we were just killing them. They were in ICU, brain dead. So, you don't have to do that. If you've got the little pocket mask, which is great, keep one in your back pocket, keep it in your little Max Edition bag there. Give just enough breath to make the chest right. That's all you need. Okay? We're going to talk about something else in a minute, but go ahead. Open the airway. Head tilt, chin lift, and a jaw thrust. Next slide. I've got pictures of it. Head tilt, chin lift. This is real easy, guys. You put your hand on the forehead, on the chin, and you lift it back. That opens the airway, clears out the blood, the vomit, the beer and pizza, the teeth, whatever else, it clears it out of the way. It's probably going to go down in your lungs, but we can give them antibiotics for that. Next slide. This is the jaw thrust. This is what I was talking about during the trauma lecture. This is how to open their airway. Just take the jaw and pull it forward. Don't do it, it really hurts. But it will open the airway without moving the head. Next slide. If you've done your 30 compressions, now we need to check and see if they're breathing, okay? CAB. So if they look for breathing, we look, listen, and feel. If they're just gasping, like a fish out of water, it's not very effective breathing, okay? We still do that. Our brain just doesn't know we're dead yet. So if they're blue, they don't look good, we need to ventilate them. If you have the little pocket mask, okay? If you don't have the pocket mask, I got a whole other lecture for you. It's coming in just a few minutes. Next slide. Compression and ventilation, we do a 30 to 2. Like I said, it's easy. We used to do, like, adults were one thing, infants were one thing, children were another thing. It was way too many numbers to memorize, and everybody failed the test. So they want to take the test again. So they made it really, really easy. It's 30 to 2 on everybody. It doesn't matter if it's a little kid or it's an 80-year-old grandma, okay? It's 30 to 2, 100 beats a minute. And then, of course, your 2 rescue breaths. Next slide. Alright, this is the one I really, really want to touch with you guys. It's called hands-on CPR. If one of you guys falls out at Walmart, I am not putting my mouth-to-mouth on you, okay? Depending on what you look like. But my wife's actually back there, so I have to be careful what I say. She's hot. So, and she shoots a gun, so that's really exciting. But most of you guys, I've talked with you, I've seen you, I'm not putting my mouth anywhere near you guys. So, if you fall out, oh well. We're going to do hands-on CPR for you. What it means is, I do compressions till the cows come home. Okay, I don't take my hands off your chest. I don't give you any kind of rescue breathing. Mid-nipple arm, 2 inches, till the cows come home. Okay? In theory, what they're saying is that builds your blood pressure up, like we talked about. So it means we don't have that 1.5 minute drop. It goes up and perfuses. So we're doing good there. As you compress and move the lungs, they're drawing air in and out. Okay? It's not great air, but it's still air. So it's not quite as good as us ventilating with a pocket